like to introduce to you the drivers that are ready to start the C main. Several that were announced in your program are unable to start due to mechanical problems with their cars, so this is the way it will begin, starting from the back row. Car sponsored by Stevens Installers, the owner-driver from Anaheim in car number 57, Leroy Shaver. Starting on the inside, the car is owned by Tom and Mary Roa. Mari's Pizza and Boulevard Carpets are the sponsors from Van Nuys in car number 38, Randy Holbert. From San Diego, the owner-driver in car number 53 is Herb Crawford. The next car is owned by Krug and Gibson, Gibson Welding and Krug Construction, the sponsors. From Troy, Ohio in 98A, Jack Hewitt. In row number 3 on the outside, the owner is the driver. He's from Sun Valley in car number 69, Jim Watson. Starting alongside, the car owned by Art Meyer, the sponsors L&M Air Conditioning and Nelson Dunn Air Equip. From Brea in car number 28, Jerry Meyer. On the outside of row number 2, car owned by Jerry and Vivian Crowell, West Valley Balancing and Valley Fuel Supply, the sponsors. The drivers from Ventura, car number 41, Alan Wexler. And starting alongside the Dan Parabaroff car, Bob Berry Racing Engines and Hofco Auto Alarms are the sponsors. The drivers from Long Beach in car number 67, Bill Clausen. The front row on the outside, Tommy Lee, the owner, Lee's Power Steering, the sponsor. The drivers from Alta Loma in car 19X, Tony Simon. And the pole position, the Rusty Skinner car, R&R Rental, the sponsor. The drivers from Linwood in car 114, Rich Coons. Scheduled for 15 laps. We are expecting a green getting ready to go, 15 laps in the C main. Coons and Simon up front, they'll bring them down. Remember, that's a V6 in the Tony Simon car, a different sound to that motor. They come down the front straight away. Rich Coons is the early leader, but the yellow goes out and we will have to go for a restart. Coons had the jump on the rest of the field as they came down out of turn number 4, and so it was ruled a no start. 4, they should stand on it, bring them down the front chute, and go green. Up to Coons to set the pace. He has the pole position. Tony Simon will have to keep up with him when he stands on it, and that's now. Simon now takes the lead as he comes down the front straightaway with Coons into second spot. Wexler is running third. Hewitt is fourth. Simon moving away with that V6. Takes the lead early. Simon, the early leader, out of turn number 4, followed by Rich Coons. Down the front straightaway they go now in single file. Back to third spot is Alan Wexler. The Ohio driver Hewitt is running in fourth spot. Coming around to complete lap number 2. It's still Tony Simon, followed by Coons, then Wexler, and Hewitt. In fifth spot is Clausen. And Clausen is being followed by Watson. Second place car is Coons as he tries to close in on the leader. Coons flying the rookie flag from the back of the roll cage, indicating to the drivers who might come up from behind that a rookie is behind the wheel in the second place car. The challenge now from fourth spot as Hewitt begins to put the pressure on. So he wants to get around Alan Wexler. There's the leader out of turn number 4. That's Simon. Here comes that challenge now as Hewitt gets alongside, going into 4 of Alan Wexler. Going down into turn number 1 now. Wexler holds on to 3rd as Hewitt continues to put the pressure on. We are in lap number 5 of a 15-lap C main event. Up the back straightaway, going into turn number 3. Now Hewitt goes to the inside, pushing Wexler to the outside. Wexler holds in as they come out of turn number 4. Wexler and Hewitt down the front straightaway as Hewitt continues to put the pressure on the 3rd place car of Alan Wexler. Side by side, up the back straightaway. This time Hewitt tried the outside. Now he's going to pull a crossover move down to the inside and once again challenge Wexler, and he cannot get around him. He stays very, very close as they go back down into turn number 1. Hewitt from Ohio trying to advance 1 position. Lost a little bit of ground down in turn number 2. First place, the leader continues to be Tony Simon. He has led from the green flag. We're halfway through the event, 15-lapper. We are working on lap number 8. Back to the push from 3rd to 4th place. 3rd place is Alan Wexler, still being pursued by the Ohio driver Jack Hewitt. But Wexler seems to have a little bit more distance between himself and 4th place right now as they come out of turn number 4 and down the front straight. Again into turn number 1, a sliding turn over to turn number 2. And up the back straight. Hewitt getting closer again as the challenge is on. No change in the lead up front. It's still Tony Simon, the leader, as he catches up to the back of the pack now. Moving up behind Jerry Meyer, who is running last on the racetrack, and makes his move around him back into the lead. Maintaining the lead, getting around a slower car. Challenge is still going on from 4th by Hewitt as he runs up on the 3rd place car of Alan Wexler. Hewitt looks at the outside as they go into turn number 1. Follows right around the racing line now. Stays very close again, goes to the outside out of 2, and Wexler just uses the racetrack to keep Hewitt behind him. Hewitt pushing hard. There's the leader again, Tony Simon. Simon working his way through traffic out in the open again. And still in 2nd place is Rich Coons, who has been there all along. And then in 3rd and 4th, this battle continues between Alan Wexler and Jack Hewitt. Laps have been completed as we get toward the end of this C main event, where the cars can move into the B main and hope for a chance to work their way into the Pacific Coast Sprint Car Nationals main event tonight. Still the challenge going on as down the racetrack is the 2nd place driver Rich Coons. Coons is on the track actually by himself, holding on to 2nd spot. We're going to get the white flag this time around. The white flag comes out for the leader, Tony Simon. Simon is on the last lap as the leader. Here comes Coons out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. He gets the white flag for 2nd spot. Jack Hewitt is running in 4th spot. We're waiting for the checkers. They're out. The checkered flag is out for Tony Simon. He wins the 15-lap C main. The winner is Tony Simon from Altaloma. Ready to go for 25 laps in the B main. The 6 that make it across the checkered flag line first will transfer to tonight's A main event. Starting in 26th position, the Tom and Mary Roa car, Mari's Pizza and Boulevard Carpets, the sponsors. From Van Nuys in car number 38, Randy Holbert. Starting on the inside, the Art Meyer car, L&M Air Conditioning, Nelson Dunn Aeroquip sponsor it. The drivers from Brea in car number 28, Jerry Meyer. On the outside of row number 12, it's the Dan Paravarov car, Bob Berry Racing Engines and Hofco Auto Alarms, the sponsors. From Long Beach in number 67, Bill Clausen. Starting on the inside, the owner-driver from San Diego in car number 53, Herb Crawford. Moving up to row number 11 on the outside, another owner-driver. He's from Sun Valley in car number 69, Jim Watson. Starting on the inside of row number 11, Stevens Installers, the sponsor. Owner-driver from Anaheim in car number 57, Leroy Shaver. In the 10th row on the outside, Rusty Skinner, the owner. R&R Rental, the sponsor. From Linwood in 114, Rich Coons. On the inside of row number 10, it's the Krug Gibson car. Gibson Welding and Krug Construction, the sponsors. From Troy, Ohio in 98A, Jack Hewitt. And the winner of the C-Main in the Tommy Lee car, Lee Power Steering, the sponsor. From Altaloma in 19X, Tony Simon. On the inside of row number 9, the owner-driver is from Glendora. In car number 26, Bob Nelson. Row number 8 on the outside, Vicky Swindell, the owner. From Sepulveda in 19, Dave Swindell. Starting on the inside of row number 8, R&R Racing, the owner. From Wisner, Nebraska in 26N, Rich Bramer. In row number 7, on the outside, it's the McKeon and Hitchcock car. The sponsors are Suncrest Motorhomes of El Monte. From Torrance in car number 51, Gary McKeon. On the inside of row number 7, BOF Racing Incorporated. The driver from Cincinnati, Ohio in car number 44 is Greg Staub. In the 6th row on the outside, Harry Conklin is the owner. Harry's Transmissions is the sponsor. From Broomfield, Colorado in 5D, Randy Roberts. On the inside of row number 6, Bill's Unclaimed Freight, the sponsor. Owner-driver from Indianapolis, Indiana in car number 75 is Brad Marvel. The 5th row on the outside, Dorothy Kennedy's car. 9th Street Auto Body, the sponsor. From Upland in 23, Walt Kennedy. On the inside of row number 5, Spenco and Taylor Engines sponsor this car. The owner is the driver. He's car number 21 from Downey, Mike Spencer. Moving up to row 4 on the outside, the Lloyd Stevens entry. Ofixco, Oklahoma Fixture Company, the sponsor. The drivers from Mesa, Arizona in 21X. Man who's won it 3 times, would like to do it again, Ron Schumann. On the inside of row number 4, Bob McNovich, the owner. Cheap John's Auto Parts, the Over the Hill Gang, and Delorme Chevrolet sponsor it. The drivers from Carson in 121, Bobby McNovich. In row number 3, Snow's Speed Shop, the sponsor. The drivers from Millersburg, Ohio. Car number 4N, Jack Hudenschild. On the inside of the 3rd row, Larry Noggles entry. From Anaheim in car number 30, Mark Atchison. Row number 2 on the outside, it's Gary Stanton's car. Stanton Racing Products and Valvoline sponsor it. From Wooster, Ohio in 75A, Brad Doty. On the inside, it's Sandy Becker's car. Becker Equipment Rental sponsor it. From Redlands in car number 85, Chuck Becker Jr. Up to the front row on the outside, A&A Foreign Auto Parts and Frontier Cranes, the owners. It's sponsored by Orange Line Oil and Orange County Erectors. From Cerritos in car number 82, Dwayne Feduska. And the pole position to the Joe Kasparov Super K entry from Phoenix in 391, Daryl Swinehart. 26 cars, 25 laps, 6 will make it to the feature.
Event.
$10,000 out of that event goes to the winner, so there's lots of money up for grabs. Ready for a green as they come out of turn number 4 this time. Daryl Schweinart and Dwayne Paduska bring them down the front straightaway. Schweinart, the early leader. Paduska tucks in right behind him. Schweinart followed by Paduska as they go around up the back straightaway. Paduska in second spot. Following in third is Brad Doty. Doty on the charge. Mark Atchison is running fourth. Schumann is making a move as Schumann is working his way up toward the front of the pack. Schumann now is in sixth position. That's a transfer spot, but he wants to get up a little further for some insurance. First car off the track is going to be Tony Simon as he breaks it in. We got a car spinning up in turn number 4. Car turned around sideways in turn number 4. Looks like Chuck Becker Jr. Car number 85 bringing out the yellow, which will slow all the cars down as they come down and will get regrouped as they get a push truck out behind the car that has spun up in the turn. That's car number 85, Chuck Becker Jr., that lost it up in the north end of the Ascot half mile. As Daryl Schweinart will bring them around as we start lap number 2. Schweinart out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway, followed by Paduska. Then it's Doty and Huttenchild as they go into turn number 1. Ron Schumann in fifth spot, tried to make a run on Huttenchild, could not make it work as yet, but he's still on the charge as they go up into turn number 3. Over to 4 is the leader, Daryl Schweinart from Phoenix. Schweinart down the front straightaway. Here comes the rest of the pack. It's Paduska in second spot. It's still Brad Doty running in third. Huttenchild is fourth, and Schumann is having a hard time holding on to fifth as Mark Atchison was racing with him. Here's Schumann and Atchison coming out of turn number 4. Schumann in fifth spot, trying to work his way further forward. The leader is over in turn number 2. That's Daryl Schweinart at car number 391. Schweinart, the early leader, as we are working on lap number 4 of a 25-lap B main event. Schweinart down the front straightaway. You can see Ron Schumann as he touches the front wheel of Jack Huttenchild as he made his pass. He completed it, but it may be all for naught as the yellow comes out, and we've got another car in trouble out of turn number 4, and it looks like car number 5, car number 5D of Randy Roberts. He's from Broomfield, Colorado, and he loses the car up in turn 4 and spins it out. Ron Schumann had just completed a pass around Jock Huttenchild, brushed the front tire as he went by, but he made the pass. He'll have to go back to his position as he was on the previous lap, as they'll all have to go back to where they started. We also lost one more car that came in. Bill Clausen brought in car number 67 into the infield. Pick up with Daryl Schweinart, the leader. They bunch up tight as the green comes out and they're racing out of turn number 4. Schweinart down the front straightaway as Paduska is second, and in third now is Jack Huttenchild. Huttenchild made a move on Doty, and here comes Schumann trying to get up on Doty, and on the outside of Schumann is Mark Atchison. Atchison driving hard up in turn number 3. Atchison stays right alongside Schumann. Schumann has the edge coming down the front straightaway, but Atchison stays right in there. Riding hard into turn number 2. The leaders on the back straightaway. Here's the battle between Schumann and Atchison. And Atchison made the move on Schumann. He passed Ron Schumann. The leaders down the front straightaway, Daryl Schweinart in 391, followed by Dwayne Paduska. Jack Huttenchild is still third. Doty is fourth. Atchison is fifth. Schumann is sixth. The action is at the north end of the racetrack now. Over to turn number 4, and down the front straightaway is Daryl Schweinart of Phoenix. Still followed by Paduska, Huttenchild, and Doty. Then it's Atchison who hangs on to his 5th place position. Ron Schumann is in 6th. Gathering closer now as they're up into turn number 3. Schumann trying to get back up to make a run closer to the front. Single file as they pitch him sideways into turn number 1. Schweinart, the early leader. Paduska looks like he's getting closer, like he'd like to make a move on Schweinart. Into turn number 3 they go. Paduska drives in a little bit harder, gains some ground. Swinehart out of 4 down the front straightaway. Paduska then followed by Hodenschild in third. And a tight race going on. Back for 4th and 5th. The leader is up the north end of the track. And we've got a car with a problem. Car number 57 has a fire under the back end, and they're trying to signal to the driver that he has problems with the car. And they're giving him the black flag as he is unaware that he has problems under the car. The leaders, there's a bump in the turn number 4 position as we're changing the lead. The leader now is Dwayne Paduska. Paduska got through a tight squeeze and put himself into the lead. Jack Hodenschild is running in second. Brad Doty is now third, and early leader Swinehart is back to 4th. Atchison is 5th. Schumann is 6th. Now the car in trouble pulls off the racetrack into the infield to see what is wrong. He had fire and sparks coming out from the bottom. Car number 57, Leroy Shaver. Action still on the track. The leader, Dwayne Paduska, in the silver car has just been passed. And we have a new leader as Paduska looks like he's having a problem. The leader is Hodenschild in car number 4. Paduska is dropping back rapidly and is coasting down the front straightaway, and he's going to park the car in turn number 1, and he's going to bring out the yellow. Dwayne Paduska, the man who was in the lead, parked the car down in turn 1. He lost power up in turn number 4, went to the outside. That's when Hodenschild got by, and then Paduska had no power left and simply coasted out of the way down into turn number 1 and put it up against the fence. In second place is 75A Brad Doty, and running in third spot is early leader 391 Daryl Swinehart. Ready for the green on a restart as they come out of turn number 4. Jack Hodenschild down the front straightaway. Doty is running second. Swinehart is in third. Mark Atchison is 4th. And Ron Schumann is 5th. Walt Kennedy is 6th. Up the back straightaway and into turn number 3. Little contact at the back of the pack, but everybody maintains position. Hodenschild motoring down the front straightaway. Trying to stay right with him is Brad Doty. Doty has a problem in turn 2. Swinehart gets by. Swinehart moves back into second spot, putting Doty back to third. Atchison is 4th and Schumann is 5th. The action comes out of turn number 4. Down the front straight and into turn number 1. Swinehart in second place, trying to catch the leader. Up the back straightaway. Into turn number 3, over to turn number 4. Hodenschild, the leader. Swinehart is in second spot as they come out of that turn. Doty is still third. Mark Atchison is 4th with Ron Schumann on the charge. Schumann trying to move into 4th spot again now as he gets behind Atchison as they go into turn number 3. The leaders are coming out of turn 4. Hodenschild being chased down by Swinehart. Over to turn 2 and up the back straight. 2 cars definitely out in front of everybody else with a 10th car lead over the third place car of Brad Doty. Hodenschild, the leader, Swinehart trying to catch him. There they go into turn number 1. Hodenschild takes the outside line. We got a car against the fence down in turn number 2. He keeps it going, but it's Mark Atchison who had been charging so hard in car number 30, and he's trying to keep the car going if he can get off the track, but he cannot, and it will bring out a yellow. The youngster from Anaheim, California, with a problem with his car. He had been up to 4th spot. He had been holding off the charge of Ron Schumann, but something went wrong with the car, and he's coasted into a stop. Could not get off the racetrack safely. He's on the outside edge of the race course, and they'll have to bring a push truck out to get Mark Atchison off the track. Out, and we're on a restart as they come flying out of turn number 4. We got a car crossed up. It's Swinehart. Swinehart stays out of trouble, but he drops back 5 spots as he came out of turn number 4. The leader continues to be Jack Hartenschild in car number 4 up the back straightaway. And Brad Doty moves into second, and Ron Schumann is up to third after the miscue by Swiner. Walt Kennedy is in fourth, Mike Spencer is fifth, and Swinert is sixth. 17 laps have been completed. It's a 25-lap B main with 6 cars to make it to the A main. Right now, Jack Hartenschild has the first spot to move up, followed by Doty, then Schumann, Kennedy, Spencer, and Swinert. Following them is Jack Hewitt, who has moved up from the 10th row. Hewitt is really moving up on the track. He's in 7th spot after starting on the inside of row number 10. Look at the leader, Jack Hartenschild, the Millersburg, Ohio driver. He's on the front straightaway. He's got about a 20-car length lead over the second-place car of Brad Doty, who's in 75A. Look at the early leader now, who is in 4th spot. That's Darrell Schweinart. Schweinart trying to catch Ron Schumann. Cars getting a little bit loose coming out of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway, but everybody holding on to their position. 20 laps have been completed, less than 5 to go as the leader comes by to complete lap number 21. Hartenschild in yellow car number 4 is in control of the B main. Hartenschild, no one to contend with. He's not in traffic as yet. He will be catching up with some perhaps on the next lap. Hartenschild into turn number 1 now, about to catch Herb Crawford in car number 53 and make his move on the back straightaway to get by the slower car. Hartenschild safely by on the outside, puts himself up into turn number 3, over to turn number 4, and down the front straightaway. Back to second and third spot now as second place is Brad Doty. Third spot is Ron Schumann. Looking at fourth car, which is Walt Kennedy. And the yellow flag is out again as we got problems on the back straightaway. This time it's car number 26, Bob Nelson, whose car has come to a stop on the back straightaway. Again, running out of power, cannot get safely across the racetrack, so coast to a stop, and they have to wait for a push truck to get back to get him off the racetrack. They come out of turn number 4, Jack Hartenschild, the leader. Hartenschild down the front straightaway, still being chased by Brad Doty. This gives Doty a chance to get close enough for a shot at him, and so far can't make it happen. Third is Ron Schumann. Darrell Schweinart is fourth, followed by Walt Kennedy and Jack Hewitt. The leader out of turn 4, down the front chute. Hartenschild, followed by Doty, Schumann, Schweinart, Kennedy, and Hewitt. And then car 5D, Randy Roberts, who's worked his way back as he spun earlier, had to go to the back of the pack, and he's put himself back up to 7th spot. We'll get a white flag this time. There'll be 1 lap left to go for the pack as they come by. Hartenschild, the leader. Still in second is Doty, followed by Schumann and Swinart. They're over into turn number 2 and up the back chute. This time around will be checkered flag time. 25 laps are completed. The top 6 will go to the A main. Problems for Hartenschild. He gets crossed up. Who's going to win it? It's Hartenschild. Hartenschild followed by Doty, Schumann, Swinart. Then it's Kennedy. Then Hewitt. Followed by 5D, Randy Roberts. That completes the B main for tonight's Toyota Pacific Coast Nationals, the 18th running. Starting from the back of the pack, on the outside of row number 13, the Krug Gibson car, Gibson Welding and Krug Construction, the sponsors. The drivers from Troy, Ohio in 98A, Jack Hewitt. On the inside of the back row, Dorothy Kennedy, the owner. 9th Street Auto Body, the sponsor. From Upland in car number 23, Walt Kennedy. On the 12th row, on the outside, Joe Kasparov, the owner, the Super K car. From Phoenix in 391, Darrell Schweinart. On the inside of row number 12, Lloyd Stevens, the owner. Ofixco is the sponsor. From Mesa, Arizona, in car 21X, Ron Schumann. Moving up to row number 11 on the outside, Gary Stanton's car, Stanton Racing Products, and Valvoline, the sponsors. From Wooster, Ohio, in 75A, Brad Doty. On the inside of row number 11, Snow's Speed Shop car. From Millersburg, Ohio, in 4N, Jack Hodenschild. Row number 10 on the outside, Alex Morales' car. Alex Excellent Foods, the sponsor. From Lawndale in car number 5, Bob East. On the inside of the 10th row, it's the Walt Ross car. From Memphis, Tennessee in 56N, Rick Unger. On the outside of row number 9, Jim Klein's K&K Sprinter. From Campbell, California in 39N, Brent Kading. On the inside of row number 9, Agajanian Enterprises, the owner and sponsor. From Bloomington, Indiana in 98 Junior, Sheldon Kinzer. In row number 8 on the outside, Quentin Bammer and Moeller Brothers own the car. It's the Budweiser Light. From Livermore, California in 11N, Chuck Gurney. On the inside of the 8th row, Kathy Simpson, the owner. Astromat Personalized Floor Mats. Warner Ranch Exxon, Black Bart Auto Security Systems, the sponsors. From Sepulveda in car number 55, John Redican. Moving up to row number 7 on the outside, Yerkunis and Garcia Venture Racing, Automedic Supply, and Donovan are the sponsors. From Torrance in car number 78, the owner-driver, Roger Newell. On the inside of row number 7, Burns and Kegerice, the owners. Burns Audio, Streaker Wheels, Zudis Racing Engines, and Gambler West, the sponsors. From Downey in car number 18, Jimmy Oskey. Correction, that is not Gambler West. Zudis Racing Engines. Oskey, the 5-time CRA champion. In row number 6 on the outside, Clyde and Greg Havens are the owners. Havens Locksmith Service, the sponsor. From Temple City in car number 12, Bob Mealy. On the inside of the 6th row, it's the Bob Vermeer Sprinter. Jasmine Foods Corporation, Hacienda Mexican Food Products, and Ultrasana, the sponsors. From Garden Grove in car number 37, the winner last night in the USAC CRA Challenge, Rip Williams. It's the 5th row on the outside. Clyde Lamar, the owner. The sponsors, Tri-C Machine and Bill's Custom Machine. From Sacramento in 3C, Dave Bradway Jr. On the inside of the 5th row, it's the Jack Gardner car, sponsored by Curb Records. The drivers from Huntington Beach in number 96, Brad Knopfsinger. Row number 4 on the outside, Bailey Brothers, the owners. Bailey Brothers Speed Shop, the sponsor. The drivers from Tempe, Arizona in 01N, Leland McSpadden. On the inside of row number 4, it's the Bruce Brommy car. ALS Industries, Donovan, and Sander Engineering sponsor it. From Carson in number 2, 3-time winner, Dean Thompson. In the 3rd row, on the outside, Howard Lane, the owner. The driver from Buena Park in car number 31 is Jim Laurie IV. On the inside of row number 3, Joe Kasparov, Super K car. From San Pedro in car number 6, Mike Sweeney. In the 2nd row, another Jack Gardner Curb Records car. From Phoenix, Arizona in number 7, Wayne Bennett. On the inside of the 2nd row, the Kassarian car, Gaschem, the sponsor. From Glen Avon in car number 1, the defending CRA champion, Bubby Jones. The front row on the outside, Carl Kinzer, the owner, Gardy Engines, and Valvoline, the sponsors. From Bloomington, Indiana in 11 US, 5-time World of Outlaw champion, Steve Kinzer. Pole position, Worth and Cattell. Eddie Worth and Perry Cattell, the owners. Barnes Systems, Donahue's Brass Beds, Greg Tedder Race Car Graphics sponsor it. In car number 77 from Hermosa Beach, Eddie Worth. I don't have it anymore, as Roger McCluskey brings the Toyota around. This time will be the opportunity for the fans in the stands to rise and wave to the driver 50 laps. The Toyota Pacific Coast Sprint Car Nationals. The Ascot fans will rise to their feet and wave their hats programmed to the drivers. The drivers wave with their right hand as they come slowly down the front straightaway. They love to see a huge crowd of fans out there waving. Gets them all ready to go for 50 laps and a lot of money at stake. Most prestigious race on the West Coast for the sprint car circuit, with $10,000 purse prize going to the winner. Over $65,000 has been paid out or will be paid out after tonight for this total weekend of running for the Pacific Coast National event. The season for sprint cars coming quickly to a close at Ascot. 3 more events after this one to close the racing season for 1984. Ready to start as they come up into turn number 3. It's up to Eddie Worth and Steve Kinzer as they come out of turn number 4 to bring them down to the green. They do, and we are ready to go for the Pacific Coast Sprint Car National. Steve Kinzer right around the outside, the early leader, to very few people's surprise. Kinzer, 5-time World of Outlaw champion, adapts quickly to any racetrack. Eddie Worth is not going to give ground. Eddie Worth takes the lead away from Kinzer. Eddie Worth takes the lead away from Steve Kinzer on the beginning of lap number 2. Kinzer is back to second position now. 50 laps, a long, hard race to go. Coming out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway, Wayne Bennett is running in 3rd spot, and Bubby Jones is 4th. Mike Sweeney is up to 5th spot, followed by Jim Laurie, the 4th. The early leader is Eddie Worth in car number 77. Out of turn 4 down the front straightaway with Kinzer in 2nd spot, still followed by Bennett, Jones, and Sweeney, Jim Laurie, the 4th, and Leland McSpadden. Car in trouble down in the turn, hangs on to it. We've got them coming together. We bounce a car into the fence as cars got together in the turn, and it looks like car number 37 of Rip Williams. Williams simply left with no place to go as we saw a car get out of control going into turn number 2. It was not Williams. Another car almost lost it down low on the racetrack, and as the car got crossed up, they were 3 wide coming out of 2, and Williams, with absolutely no place to go, bounced his car off the fence. He is still in the car and is hoping to be pushed back into the race. We'll wait for an assessment for damage to the car for the rest of the night. The yellow warning lights are off. We are set to start racing again as they will come out of turn number 4, and Eddie Worth will bring them up to racing speed. Worth brings them out of 4, and there is no green flag. Going to take them around again as they were not lined up properly when they came out of the turn. And the flagman said, we'll go one more lap and get everybody calmed down before they come out. Steve Bodden, the official starter. His assistant, Brian Howard, in the flag stand, and they're waving the yellow at the drivers as they want them to go one more time and then bring them out of turn number 4, single file, nice and easy. Another car leaving the racetrack, and that is the man that was in 3rd spot, car number 7, Wayne Bennett. Started from the outside of row number 2 and was holding on to 3rd spot. He pulls up into the infield work area and is talking to his crew. He's still in the car. It looks like he's going to get out. And it's all over for Wayne Bennett, apparently. And he's not a happy man. Problems with his car, and he dejectedly climbs out of it and walks into the infield unhappy as his mount left him early in the race. Again, looking for a start as Eddie Worth will bring him out of turn number 4. The green is out. We are back to racing speed. Eddie Worth down the front straightaway. Kinzer in second spot. Third is Bubby Jones, followed by Mike Sweeney. In fifth spot is Jim Lorry, the fourth. He's followed by Leland McSpadden. Dean Thompson bumps into another car on the back straightaway. There was contact made with Dave Bradway Jr. Thompson keeps going, but Bradway's in trouble. Bradway is limping around the back of the race course. If he can get the car safely off, he will. Otherwise, a yellow will come out, and it looks like it will, as Bradway is unable to get his car off the racetrack. We'll be back with more Rigver on the racetrack. And there's a rear suspension broken on his car. Meanwhile, the car's ready to go now as they are set up for turn 4. Out they come as Eddie Worth picks up the pace. Eddie Worth down the front straightaway, followed by Steve Kinzer into turn number 1. Bubby Jones is third. Mike Sweeney is fourth. In fifth is Jim Lorry, the fourth, followed by Leland McSpadden. And then comes Thompson. Showing the way up front, continues to be the leader in this event and tries to get away from the charge. Look at the charge down there. Bubby Jones is after Kinzer. Jones is into second spot as he passed Steve Kinzer on the outside in turn number 2. McSpadden's charging. Eddie Worth, the leader, in second spot is Bubby Jones. Steve Kinzer is third. McSpadden is trying for fourth. McSpadden runs with Sweeney. McSpadden moves into fourth spot, dropping Sweeney back to fifth. Thompson is in sixth. And we park a car. The leader is out of the race. Eddie Worth has parked his car against the fence up in turns 3 and 4 on the outside of the racetrack. Something wrong, and Worth, the early leader, has stalled on the track, and Bubby Jones will inherit the lead. Bubby Jones will now lead the race when they pick up the green again this time. Jones has yet to win the Pacific Coast Sprint Car Nationals. He had to sit the event out last year as he was injured the week before in a race in Phoenix. And the word from the infield is the motor let go in Eddie Worth's car, and that's what happened, no motor. Dejectedly, they push into the infield after a magnificent run up front to lead the race early. The yellows are out again. We are expecting a green this time around as Bubby Jones will bring them out of turn number 4, followed by Steve Kinzer. Away we go, and it's Jones, followed by Kinzer, then Sweeney and McSpadden. In fifth spot is Dean Thompson, followed by Jim Lorry, the fourth. Jones trying to stay away from Kinzer and get some distance between himself and second spot. Jones down the front straightaway, leading the Pacific Coast Nationals. Kinzer now starting to be challenged by the third place car of Sweeney, and right behind Sweeney comes Leland McSpadden. Kinzer's got his hands full of challengers running behind, and right behind McSpadden is Thompson. Jones, the early leader now, as we are only 7 laps into the 50-lap race. 3 men have led it. Kinzer led 1 lap. Then Eddie Worth led, and now the leader is Bubby Jones. Got a car leaving the racetrack as car number 37, Rick Williams, who was bumped earlier in the race, takes his car into the infield. Jones still the leader. Look at the charge. Here comes Sweeney after Kinzer. Sweeney got up underneath Kinzer down at turn number 2. Is he going to do it again? He's chasing him through 3 and 4. Bubby Jones the leader. Steve Kinzer is second. Mike Sweeney is third. Fourth is Leland McSpadden, and fifth is Dean Thompson. Leland McSpadden on the move. There's Sweeney now as he rules right up behind Kinzer. Sweeney out of 4, working on Kinzer down the front straightaway. Kinzer, the outlaw champion, is running in second spot. Mike Sweeney has given him all he can. The leader, Jones, out of turn number 4. He's followed by Steve Kinzer, Mike Sweeney, Leland McSpadden, Dean Thompson, Jim Laurie the fourth, and Brad Knopfsinger. Jones has a quarter of a straightaway lead over second place, Kinzer. Finishing the 12th lap of a 50-lapper, Jones with a commanding lead. Steve Kinzer is in second spot. Mike Sweeney is in third. Leland McSpadden is fourth. And knocking on the back bumper of McSpadden is Thompson as they go into turn 3. Kinzer now out of turn 4. Down the front chute. And there goes Thompson trying to make a move on the inside of McSpadden. McSpadden has the faster line, the outside line on the racetrack. McSpadden now trying to reel in the car in front of him, and that's Mike Sweeney. Sweeney's running third. Now the front straightaway comes that train with Thompson trying to go inside every time in turn 1. But the outside groove is the faster groove, and McSpadden holds on to fourth spot with Thompson in fifth. There comes Kinzer out of turn number 4. Sweeney slides over behind, followed by McSpadden and Thompson. Now they're down into turn number 1. Thompson again to the low side of the track. McSpadden holds the ground. The leader continues to be Bubby Jones. Jones is coming out of turn number 4. He's got a clear racetrack in front of him. Look at Thompson. Thompson makes the move on McSpadden. Thompson came out of turn number 4, got in front of McSpadden to move into fourth spot. Kinzer in second. Here comes Thompson. He's going after Sweeney now up into turn number 3. Thompson underneath Sweeney. The cars tap in turn number 3 as Thompson taps Sweeney, and Sweeney holds on to his spot. Kinzer is second. Sweeney is third. Thompson is fourth. McSpadden is fifth. Up into turn number 3 at the north end of the racetrack. 2 red cars. The front of the 2 is Sweeney, followed by Thompson. Sweeney is third. Thompson is fourth on the racetrack. There's Kinzer in car number 11. Sweeney in 6. Thompson in 2. Up the back straightaway as Thompson tries to get around Mike Sweeney one more time in turn number 3 and 4. Thompson's on the inside, sliding across, can't do it. Thompson's still fourth. He's working on Sweeney down at turn 1. Sweeney holds the line and keeps Thompson behind him. The leader will pick up lap number 20 as he comes out of the fourth turn now. 20 laps down in a 50-lap main event. The Toyota Pacific Coast Sprint Car Nationals from Ascot. Bubby Jones from Glen Avon near Riverside is the leader. Here's the second place car of Steve Kinzer from Bloomington, Indiana. And right behind him, the third place car, Mike Sweeney from San Pedro, California. Dean Thompson from Carson is in fourth spot. And from Tempe, Arizona in fifth is Leland McSpadden. Sixth spot is Brad Knopfsinger, and seventh is Jim Laurie the fourth. Back to the front of the pack now. The charge is still going on for third and fourth spots. Kinzer in second in the yellow car, followed by Sweeney and Thompson. There's Kinzer. Motors through turn 1, over to turn 2, up the back straightaway. Steve Kinzer, World of Outlaw Sprint Car Champion, still leads the race. There's the leader, Jones. He has to go to the outside now as he begins to work traffic. He gets by Walt Kennedy. Up the back straightaway now as one by one he'll begin to pick off the cars in front of him as he works his way around traffic to put a lap on them. Jones, a master at working his way through traffic. Here's the charge of Thompson. He's still after Mike Sweeney. Sweeney is third. Thompson is fourth. Look how close they are together down in turn 1. Sweeney puts his right rear tire up against the groove of the racetrack. The hard surface on the inside, the loose plate on the outside. They use it for a berm. They call it the cushion, and that's what Sweeney's using, putting the tire right up against it. Thompson crosses over the top of it a little bit, coming out of the turn. Thompson is trying to move up on Sweeney. There's Sweeney in third spot, coming out of turn number 4 with with Thompson still the challenger. The yellow car in front of them is Steve Kinzer. He's running second. Sweeney and Thompson still fighting a duel for third and fourth, and Sweeney's holding ground. We just crossed the halfway point in this race. We're in lap 26, just started lap 27 of our 50-lap main event. The leader continues to be Bubby Jones in car number 1. The challenge that's going on is between these two cars. They're running third and fourth, Mike Sweeney and Dean Thompson. They push hard as they continue to challenge out of turn number 4. Kinzer begins to move around slower cars now as he has just passed Walt Kennedy. And the next cars to try to go around will be the two that are challenging. And that's Sweeney and Thompson. The leader out of turn 4, down the front straightaway. The yellow and blue number 1, Bubby Jones, the defending California Racing Association champion, trying to put the championship away for the second year in a row here at Ascot. He's got the points lead, but this is not a championship race for California Racing Association. This is the Pacific Coast Nationals. This one is for $10,000 to win. Jones on the back straightaway, picking off another car as he tries to lap 4 cars. Bubby Jones. Now here's Thompson, still putting the charge on the car in front of him. He's trying so hard to get around Mike Sweeney. Sweeney holds the line lap after lap around the racetrack as another car leaves the track, and the car that left was 21X Ron Schumann. He's the only other man out there that had ever won this event 3 times, and it's all over for him as he takes his car into the infield. No win tonight for Ron Schumann. Here's the challenge. Thompson still going after Sweeney, and Sweeney holds his position. We are in lap number 33 of this 50-lap main event with Thompson pushing hard on Mike Sweeney. Sweeney in the Kasparov Super K car holding on to his third spot. Down into turn number 1. Thompson unable so far to get by Mike Sweeney. Thompson makes another run at him up at turn number 3. Looking at the low side of the racetrack. It's the slower way around. It's shorter, but it's slower, as you can keep the speed up in the car if you go around the outside racing groove. And that's exactly what Sweeney is doing. Back to the leader. It continues to be Bubby Jones in car number 1. He comes down this time to put away lap number 35. 15 laps left to go for $10,000. Now's when it gets tough. All these laps on a race car, they've got 35 hard laps on them. Have to pace themselves and the car. At this kind of speed, they can blister a tire and then not be able to hold traction on the course. The laps begin to unwind now. We are in lap number 36. The close race continues between Mike Sweeney and Dean Thompson. Sweeney has been running third most of this event with Thompson playing the chaser. Look at Thompson. He's making a tighter move this time in turns number 3 and 4. Thompson and on the inside moves on Sweeney, and Sweeney continues to hold his line. Sweeney not going to give an inch as Dean Thompson pushes. Now they're into traffic. Who will find the line through the slower cars? Sweeney catches up to the back of another car, goes around on the outside, finds some running room, and Thompson's right behind him as they pass John Redicaz. Now they're catching up with Rick Unger. Sweeney makes it to the outside. Is there room? Yes, he makes room. And Sweeney gets 2 cars between himself and Thompson, but Thompson stays on the gas and gets by them both and stays right on the back bumper of Mike Sweeney. A battle for third and fourth is the hottest battle on the racetrack right now, as Mike Sweeney is holding off the charge of Dean Thompson. The leader is still Bubby Jones in car number 1. He's just clicked off lap number 40. He's got 10 left to go. Watch the smoothness of this driver as he continues to go around the track, saving the car, saving the tires. He's now getting up near Daryl Schweinert in turns number 3 and 4. Goes to the inside, comes down out of 4, down the front straightaway, looking for a way around the car in front of him, looking at the inside now as they come out of turn 2. Now he makes his move. Thompson has made his pass. Thompson, while we were watching the leader, finally got around Mike Sweeney. Thompson now going faster, trying to move up. He wants to try to catch up with Kinzer. Thompson is now 3rd. Sweeney is back to 4th. Thompson, lap after lap, finally found a way around Sweeney as they were working traffic. And now Sweeney becomes the chaser. They're up at the north end of the racetrack as Thompson comes out of turn number 4. And Thompson has about a full straightaway to catch up before he's going to be on the back bumper of Steve Kinzer, who's running in 2nd spot. Here's Thompson on the back straightaway. He's headed for turn number 3. Kinzer is out of turn 4. Thompson trying to get some more ground and move up. This will be lap number 45 being completed. 5 more laps to go when the leader crosses the start-finish line. Bubby Jones will cross the start-finish line now, and there are 5 laps left to go. 2nd place is still Steve Kinzer in car number 11. World of Outlaw champion 5 times, including this year. In 3rd spot is Dean Thompson, the man who has won this race 3 times, and he's also 3-time California Racing Association champion. He's running 3rd. In 4th spot is the man he's been battling with, car number 6, Mike Sweeney. 46 laps have been completed, 4 left to go as we are down to the last few laps. Thompson getting by slower cars now as he holds his ground. The leader is down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Bubby Jones sets up for 1. That's Kinzer now, the 2nd place car. He's over into turn 2 following Jones. Jones will catch up with some more traffic this time. Kinzer right behind him. Down the front straightaway will come the leader. 48 laps are down, 2 left to go. Here comes Thompson out of turn number 4. Thompson still in 3rd position, and he's unable so far to get anywhere close enough to Steve Kinzer to overhaul him. The race is up front. Kinzer is closing in on Bubby Jones. Jones is coming out of 4. He gets the white flag, and Kinzer is the car right behind him. Jones into turn number 1, over to 2. Kinzer's right on his tail. Thompson is back in 3rd. The leader is up at turn number 3, and Kinzer's catching him. Kinzer is moving in on Jones. Jones comes down for the checkered flag, and Jones wins it with Kinzer right on his back bumper. But Bubby Jones held off the charge of Kinzer, who made his last second run at the leader and got right on his back bumper. He had no place else to go as they had caught up with Walt Kennedy, and there was no other line left on the racetrack, and Kinzer had to follow Jones. They're side by side down the front straightaway as Kinzer salutes Bubby Jones for winning the 18th running of the Pacific Coast Sprint Car Nationals at Ascot. Congratulating everybody, it's Bubby Jones that's going to climb out of car number 1 with a big victory, at least $10,000 plus more in contingency monies for winning the Pacific Coast National. We'll be back with more from Ascot right after this. News we reported, it's not good news that the man dropped out of the race, car number 77, Eddie Worth, who was fighting so hard up front. The good news is it was not his motor, it was a magneto, so the cost will not be so high, just the hurt from not being able to finish up front. Do I...
Thank you very much, Ted Otto. Dean Thompson, I know you're pleased with your finish after the wreck you were in last night, and your crew worked till 6 o'clock this evening getting that car ready. I know you're happy just to be here in third position.
Yeah, we really are, Don. You know, we've had a lot of trouble the last couple weeks, and tonight, you know, my car was working pretty good. I think if I'd have been able to get my front end to stick a little better, why I'd been able to run on the bottom, and maybe I moved up a little faster, you know.
Yeah, but, you know, you take a good hard look at this race overall. You had 2 yellow flags in the whole thing. It really started getting tight there toward the end of the race.
Yeah, well, Bubba was having a tire problem there at the end, and it was starting to tighten up a little bit.
Well, congratulations on your third place win here tonight, and we know we're going to see you back here next Saturday night.
Oh, yeah, I'll be back next Saturday.
Ladies and gentlemen, the third place winner, Mr. Dean Thompson, driver of the number 2 car. Okay, for the third straight year, what can I say? A great racer. He comes here with 32 wins under his belt, looking for 33 tonight. Almost nicked it there at the end. Steve Kinzer, congratulations on your second place win.
Well, thank you. I tell you what, I'm not a bit ashamed of coming out here and run second and in between these two guys, because from what I hear, they're the best there is around here, and we're just fortunate that we run as good as we did, and hell, we're going to come back and try her again, I guess.
Do you mean at the Peabody, or do we mean next year?
I don't know. I might need to practice. I might be back in a week or two.
Boy, would we like to see that out here? Come out here and run with the guys? Well, you hear what the fans think. We certainly hope you come back.
Well, I'm going to come back until I win this damn thing. I don't know how long it's going to take me.
You heard it. A real racer, ladies. The king of the outlaws, Mr. Steve Kinzer. And boy, I don't need to tell you who this guy is. He was grinning when he came across the line, and you can always tell Bubby when he wins. His eyes smile. Bubby Jones, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Ray Sheets had that car cooking. You know, you've got a saying out here. Every time Mr. Kazarian comes out, Papa Kazarian, you win a race. He was here in your pits again tonight.
Well, you got to keep the boss happy. You want to keep your job, so I guess that's the easiest way.
Well, you know, that's pretty good job security if you keep coming out here and winning. $10,000, too, doesn't hurt either, does it?
Yeah, we might be drunk next Saturday night. You never know.
You mean if you start right now, you think you can spend it between now and next Saturday night?
Yeah, I've been known to spend a lot of money.
Golly, I want to be invited to that party. You had a little tire problem there toward the end?
Well, I think I probably abused her a little bit there at first. You can't beat them Goodyears. I'll tell you what, they've worked with us all year, and they've put us in the winner's circle several times.
Boy, have they ever. Bubby, I know you want to go over and celebrate the spoils. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Toyota Pacific Coast Nationals, the driver of the number 1 car, Mr. Bubby Jones.